The NFL Today on CBS Sports is presented by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide.
And welcome back, everyone, to the NFL Today. Right now, the Dolphins and Jets are getting set for their matchup. And as we approach kickoff, let's take you first on the field and send you out live to East Rutherford, where our announcers, Ian Eagle and Dan Fouts, are standing by. Gentlemen.
JB, two teams scrambling to stay in the AFC wildcard hunt, going head-to-head today. The Jets have dropped 4 of their last 5, and a lot of the goodwill that head coach Todd Bowles built up early has now evaporated. The Dolphins are 3-3 under interim coach Dan Campbell, but there is no margin for error for Miami. We look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Pittsburgh and Kansas City currently holding down the wild card spots. The Jets are 5-5. The Dolphins are 4-6. And welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle along with Hall of Famer Dan Fouts. Evan Washburn joins us down on the sidelines. The honeymoon period for Todd Bowles is definitely over. The Jets got off to such a promising start, and Bowles was praised for his no-nonsense approach and his ability to help change the culture in the Jets locker room. Last couple of weeks, it's been a struggle for the Jets. Winnable games, problems in the fourth quarter, and now Bowles and the Jets trying to get their season back on track.
Yeah, they've just been so inconsistent all across the board, but Bowles knows there are 6 games remaining. He told us that the mood of the team is still upbeat, and that his coaches have stressed a renewed focus on basic football fundamentals in practice, and they have promised an emphasis on being more physical on both sides of the ball. That's typical coach speak for a team that's lost 4 of their last 5 games. And the pressure is also mounting on quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. Back-to-back rough outings has Fitzpatrick and the Jets offense ready to pair things back in the game plan today. He told us that the offense feels more comfortable this week with fewer plays, but expect a heavy workload today for running back Chris Ivory.
And the Jets take a big hit on defense today. Darrelle Revis, the Pro Bowl corner, is out with a concussion. The second time in his career he's missed a game because of a concussion. Last one was 3 years ago. Who steps in? Marcus Williams, undrafted free agent last year, who leads the team with 4 interceptions. All right, let's talk about this Miami Dolphin team. There's no doubt Dan Campbell has infused a sense of energy in this group. Now, whether or not that translates to playing meaningful football in the month of December, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, energy is good, but the self-inflicted wounds that he says have really cost his team. Too many penalties, too many missed assignments, and that has really hurt Miami's chances to try to get to one of those wild card spots. But Campbell has stressed to his team, and he wants them to remember how badly they were beaten in London by this Jets team.
And Dan, the offense has been out of sync for Miami. They got off to a great start when Campbell took over, producing points, producing yards. Last couple of weeks, it's been a problem as we check out our Fouts Focus. These are not Dolphins highlights.
Certainly not. The Dolphins offense has got to quit hurting themselves with sacks, safeties, and interceptions. 2 of Tannehill's 10 picks have been returned for scores. Bad shotgun snaps, poor pass protections have led to a league-leading 3 safeties. With 30 sacks in 10 games, all of that is unacceptable. And when you're 31st in the league and converting third downs, it's obvious the Dolphin offense has got to turn things around today.
All right, our tools for success presented by Home Depot.
Dolphin running back Lamar Miller rushed for only 26 yards on 7 carries in the first game between these two in London. Much more is needed from Miller today. Jets wide receiver Eric Decker's big physical receiver, serious threat in the red zone. 7 TD catches, 6 have come from inside the 20. Losers of 4 of their last 5. The Jets must turn things around before it's too late. And in London, Miami was 0 for 12 on third downs, 0 for 4 on fourth downs. That key situational part of the game has put the Dolphins in a must-win situation today.
It is the 100th regular season meeting between the Jets and the Dolphins. Jets, 4 of their 5 losses have come by 7 points or less. Miami just trying to save its season now. Their playoff hopes are on life support. Jets at 5-5. The Dolphins are 4-6. We've got AFC East action coming up for you. Countdown to kickoff continues. The NFL on CBS. Welcome to Super Bowl 50. It's the NFL on CBS, Week 12, the Jets and the Dolphins. Today's game is being broadcast in Spanish, where available, using the SAP button on your television. The kickoff is next. Mild conditions here at MetLife. Mostly sunny skies the rest of the day. Right now, let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team down to the field in Evan Washburn.
Well, Ian, with Darrelle Revis out of the lineup, the Dolphins wide receivers seemed to be a strength coming into this game, but they're dealing with health concerns of their own. Jarvis Landry didn't practice much this week as he re-injured a knee on Thursday. Rashard Matthews, he got ill yesterday so bad he had to be quarantined from the team on the team plane. IV treatment to keep his hydration level up. Now both are active. I just spoke with Jarvis Landry. He said he's good to go, but something to monitor throughout this game.
All right, Evan, thanks very much. Miami won the toss. They have deferred to the second half, so the Jets will receive, and it will be Andrew Franks, the rookie, kicking it off. The veteran Antonio Cromartie is the deep man for New York. Jets have not gotten a lot of pop in the return game this season. Dolphins and the Jets for the 100th time in the regular season. We're underway from East Rutherford. Booming kick. And this one will come out to the 20-yard line for New York. Ryan Fitzpatrick, last couple of weeks, numbers are down. 2 losses. The Buffalo loss on a Thursday night. Then last week, Fitzpatrick and the Jets falling to Houston.
Yeah, and when I asked him about why he insists on sliding head first, well, he admits it's based on his baseball background as a youth. He always slid head first, and then because he knows he's got to protect himself, but old habits are hard to break, and sometimes they're painful and dangerous.
And a 3-receiver set to open up with Elinwa. It's a handoff. Chris Ivory's got a running lane. Ivory out across the 35-yard line to Prikashaw Ferguson with a key block. That's a 16-yard rip on the first play from scrimmage.
Yeah, right through this hole here. Good vision by Ivory, and a great way to start after having a career day against the Dolphins in London with 166 yards. Tremendous 1 foot in the ground cut there, jump cut to the open gap. And the big thing about Ivory always is how many yards he makes after he makes contact with a defender.
And an injury for Miami on the first play. It's Bryce McCain. The corner is down. Jelani Jenkins banged up as well. 2 injuries for the Dolphins on the first play from scrimmage. Bryce McCain on the training table. Jelani Jenkins trying to walk it off. Jenkins was a question mark with a left ankle injury. He was inactive last week in the loss to Dallas. Chris Ivory will get the call again. Ivory bouncing off of contact. Gets to the outside and picks up 3 yards. Brought down by Earl Mitchell for Miami. Starting offense for the Jets, Nick Mangold was a question mark, suffered a right hand laceration in the first quarter last week, required 6 or 7 stitches. He's in there for the Jets. Ivory had that big performance against Miami in London in the first meeting of the season. 166 yards on the ground, a career high for Ivory. Brent Grimes leading this Miami defense. Grimes had a pick last week. He's got 3 interceptions on the season. Fitzpatrick offline. Looking for Brandon Marshall, incomplete, and it sets up 3rd and 7 for Todd Bowles' squad.
Now that ball was a little bit behind Marshall, but not much of an effort to get 2 hands on that pass. Just stuck out his left hand as the ball was thrown behind him, but we need a better effort, I would think, out of Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall is on pace to put himself among the all-time leaders in Jets single-season receiving history. On pace for 99 catches, 1,280 yards, 11 touchdowns, but he has cooled off in recent weeks. It's a 5-receiver set on a 3rd and 7. Fitzpatrick out of trouble, sets it up. Bilal Powell, and they come up just short of the first down. Kelvin Shepard did not allow him to get to the line to gain. And now what do you do if you're the Jets?
Well, if you're Todd Bowles, I think you've got to go for this one. You're off to a good start, and here he brings in, obviously going to go for it. It's a couple of tight ends, and Bohannon comes into the game. But this is an attitude type of game. You want to set the attitude right away. And the way that Ivory has been running so far. It's a good decision.
It is 4th and less than a yard for the Jets. First possession of the day. With a handoff. Ivory is stuffed. Miami will take over. Ivory cannot get the necessary yardage. Rashad Jones comes firing through defensively to make the play for the Dolphins. 13:03 remaining in the first. Dolphins take over.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency. Low fares, nothing to hide. MetLife. Contact a MetLife Premier Client Group representative today. And by the new 6th Gen Intel Core processor. It's Intel's best processor ever.
Dolphins stop the Jets on 4th and less than a yard. And now Ryan Tannehill and the Miami offense takes over at the Jets' 44. Tannehill, 188 yards last week in that 24-14 loss to Dallas, a season low for Tannehill. 3 receivers set to open things up. Tannehill, plenty of time in the pocket, throws over the middle across the 40-yard line, and he hooks up with Kenny Stills for 5 yards.
Watch Rashad Jones here, number 20, as he reads this play and is going to shoot the gap here and meet Ivory in the backfield. And he gets some help from big Ndamukong Suh with a super spin move there on Ryan Winters to keep the Jets from picking up that first down.
2 tight ends in this formation, Cameron and Sims. Cameron, the motion man, on a 2nd and 5 for Miami. Operating out of the gun, it's a pitch. Miller stacked up. Takes it to the 40-yard line. Sheldon Richardson led the charge, a loss of 1. Starting offense for Miami. Jason Fox is once again in for Jawan James. They think James needs another week to heal from that toe injury. Backs and receivers for Miami. Evan told you about the issues for Jarvis Landry and Rashard Matthews. Matthews is trying to get over a bout with the flu. Marcus Williams in for Darrelle Revis, sitting this one out with a concussion he suffered last week in the loss in Houston, helping in run support. This is a 3rd and 6 for Miami. Tannehill, incomplete, and a flag down. Pryor will get the flag on the smack. The play was over. Rashard Matthews had no chance at catching the ball.
But it was an illegal pick against the Dolphins that is going to be called here, Ian. Away from the contact.
Pass interference. Offense number 14. Penalties decline. Result of the play, 4th down.
Rashard Matthews is down. Landry is limping at the end of that play as well. And Miami comes up empty. Oof.
That ball thrown behind Matthews, and a good, solid, clean hit there by Pryor, leading with his shoulder. And if Matthews wasn't feeling well yesterday, he ain't feeling much better right now.
So the 2 receivers that had issues coming into this game, both affected on that play. The penalty against Landry, he was limping at the end of the play, dealing with a knee injury. Matthews was under the weather yesterday. Actually got off the plane, was wearing a mask as to not get anybody else infected on this Dolphins team. Felt better overnight. And in the lineup today, now a bigger concern after that stamp from Calvin Pryor III.
Okay, this is what happened on the penalty. Jarvis Landry, lining up right here, is going to come out and run a pick here right on Cromartie. Easy call for the officials, but more importantly, you can see Landry grab for his left knee as he hits the turf.
Matthews helped to his feet. He'll walk it off slowly, and it's 4th down for the Dolphins. Injury is a big part of the story early for Miami. Defensively, first play from scrimmage, McCain goes down. Jenkins was slow to get up, and now after the first play on a series of plays on offense. Wide receiving core could be getting thinner. Matt Darr will punt it. Jeremy Curley is waiting for it at the 9-yard line of New York. Darr's the rookie out of Tennessee. He's averaging 48.3 yards per kick right now, just trying to place this deep in Jets territory. High punt over the head of Curley and perfectly executed. Bobby McCain getting down the field after the 37-yard punt. The Jets take over deep. Jets take over at their own 3-yard line. After the nearly perfect punt from Darr. No score, 11:32 to play in this first quarter. Jets have dropped 4 of their last 5 games after starting the season 4-1. Dolphins have lost 3 of their last 4. They were 1-3 under Joe Philbin, 3-3 under Dan Campbell. On first down, handoff, spin move by Ivory. Picks up 2 and a little bit of change as we check in with Evan Washburn. Injury update. Evan.
Well, and let's start with Rashad Matthews. A lot of concern. It looks like they're working on that rib area. Now, the good sign is he has his helmet. He spoke with athletic trainers and doctors, but he does still have his helmet. As soon as I have something official, we'll let you know. Jelani Jenkins back in the lineup, but it looked like it was that left ankle, that high ankle sprain he'd been dealing with for weeks that was bothering him. We'll keep an eye on it.
All right, Evan, thanks very much. Neville Hewitt stepped in for Jenkins when Jenkins went to the sideline, also stepped in for him last week. Design run, the cut by Fitzpatrick, and going helmet first once again. That's a 5-yard pickup for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I think in this case he had no choice but to go head first. The Dolphins were closing in. It's a bootleg, but it looks like a planned run right about now because you can tell as the linebacker there, Koa Misi, turns his back to cover Ivory out of the backfield. That gave Fitzpatrick the green light to take it himself out to the 10.
Another update from Miami. Bryce McCain is back in there. 3rd and 2 for the Jets. They'll go empty. Powell heads to the outside. Fitzpatrick. That ball knocked up in the air. Incomplete. Powell in the area. Fortunate for New York that it wasn't picked off. And now the Jets will punt.
Well, this is Jordan Phillips. He did this a number of times last week in their game against Houston. Ball bounces right off his hat. 6'6". And very adept at reading the quarterback's eyes and getting in the throwing lane. That time using his head.
Well, Jarvis Landry, we've mentioned, he's not 100%. Normally, he's the punt returner, averaging 10 yards per return, including a 69-yarder against Washington. Brent Grimes is deep. The punt from Quigley. Grimes ranges over and then stumbles towards the sideline. But once again, Miami will have excellent field position after the 46-yard punt, 7-yard return out near midfield. Tonight, he was held by Cuba in prison for years, and he tells his story for the first time on 60 Minutes. Plus, the Daredevils, who are taking on one of the most dangerous mountains in the world. That's tonight only. CBS. Dan Campbell actually started his pro playing career in this area as a member of the New York Giants. Lived nearby in Edgewater, New Jersey. Said he really enjoyed his time here. He didn't know anything about the area. He's a Texas kid. First and 10 for Miami at the 50. Take the handoff to Miller. Tannehill dumps it off. Miller's got room. Miller's got a first down. Accelerating down the sideline and out of bounds at the 33. That's a 17-yard catch and run for Miller. Dan Campbell, right now the youngest head coach in the NFL. Let's take you back to the playing days. Campbell said it was really a blessing that he ended up with the Giants and the Mara family. That set him up for the rest of his career, and he learned how to be a pro.
Had a little bit of lettuce coming out of the back of that helmet.
he did have lettuce coming out of the back of the helmet. Are you a lacrosse guy, Dan? Where are you getting that term?
Oh, my boy Evans taking care of me.
On first down, on time. Tannehill, 2 stills. Marcus Williams there defensively. It's a 7-yard pickup. What did Campbell say about the offense and Tannehill to get things started?
Well, they want to get him off to a good start. Obviously, everybody wants their quarterback to good start, but some short completions, runs to the perimeter would be good. And when they go deep off the play action, they've got to hit him, something they've been unable to do too many times this season.
Rashard Matthews heading to the locker room for Miami. 2nd and 3. There's a jump, and this play whistle dead.
Yeah, Snacks jumping into the neutral zone. Couldn't get back in time.
Encroachment. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
Pretty good head bob by Tannehill to get Damon Harrison into the neutral zone just that little bit.
Matthews, it's being listed as a rib and chest injury. His return is questionable for Miami. Dolphins are threatening. 8:52 to go in the first quarter. Line of scrimmage is now just short of the 21. On first down for the Dolphins. Fake it. Tannehill gets rid of it. And ricochets off the helmet of Pace. The intended receiver, Lamar Miller, working in the flat.
Well, that's twice now that the Dolphins have used play action, and Tannehill, not liking what he sees down the field, has come to Lamar Miller. This time a poor throw, and lucky it wasn't picked off. Ball bounces up in the air and off the helmet of Calvin Pace.
In that first meeting, Miller held to 26 yards on the ground. He had 178 yards against the Jets last season. Season finale. Handed off, Miller up the gut, not much there. Picks up 2 on the lean. It'll be 3rd and long for the Dolphins. Muhammad Wilkerson will get credit for the stop.
Now the Jets' run defense, 3rd best in the NFL, allowing just 91 yards per game on the ground. And the Dolphins know they're not going to make many yards between the tackles. Their emphasis is on perimeter runs and watch for Tannehill on the read option.
It's a 3rd and 8 for Miami. Dime package for the Jets. Play clock is down to 3. Tannehill, rush coming, gets rid of it. The throw, intercepted, stepping in front, Marcus Williams. Williams brought down. He has got a nose for the ball. Malden put the pressure on Tannehill. It's a 21-yard return and the 5th pick of the season for Williams, stepping in for Revis. The Jets turn over the Dolphins, something they haven't been doing very much of the last 5 weeks.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. And by Zales. Declare your love with gifts from Zales, the Diamond Store.
Marcus Williams in his 2nd year out of North Dakota State. He was a practice squad guy. He has taken advantage of his opportunities. Dan Campbell talked about self-inflicted wounds. That was one of them. Tannehill turning it over for Miami. Jets take over at the 27-yard line with 7:44 to go in the first. Fitzpatrick on the move. And Fitzpatrick dives just short of the 30-yard line. That's a 2-yard pickup.
Now, Kenny Stills is the intended receiver here. It's an out route, and when you throw the out route, you cannot be late, and you cannot throw it behind the receiver. Good recognition by Williams to step in front, but the ball behind the receiver and late is going to result in the 11th interception of the season thrown by Tannehill.
And adding to the injury concerns, Pro Bowler Mike Pouncey being looked at along the Miami sideline. 2nd and 8. Fitzpatrick slings it. Complete. Eric Decker breaks a tackle. He's in Miami territory. And a penalty marker thrown back at the 20-yard line. That's a 21-yard pass play.
Holding. Offense number 68. 10-yard penalty. Beat 2nd down.
It's Breno Giacomini, and this one is coming back for New York.
It's going to be a takedown by Giacomini here. Just as Fitzpatrick fades out of the pocket there, easy call for the officials, but we're seeing the symptoms of teams that are struggling. 5-5 and 4-6. Dolphins wasted 2 excellent field position to start their drive, and now the Jets are moving backwards after that penalty.
So a 2nd and 18. Last time these two teams met, the Jets had 14 penalties for 163 yards. The pass out to Devin Smith. Smith had 2 big drops last week. The rookie out of Ohio State catches that one for 17. NFL Today update. JB and Bart Scott.
Adrian Peterson doesn't need much help.
Yes, this drive was aided by a pass interference. Adrian Peterson and the Vikings strike first. Minnesota up 7-0 in Atlanta.
Back to Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts and Evan Washburn.
NFC North tightening up with Minnesota 7-3, Green Bay 7-4. The suddenly hot Detroit Lions, the Bears, with John Fox doing an excellent job getting the winning attitude back in Chicago. Handoff. Ivory runs into a crowd. Again, 3rd and short.
They've tried the same basic running play, the blast play right up the middle. And this is going to be close enough, I think, to bring out the chains.
I think they got a pretty good spot on it as well, but just looking at this angle, it's going to be just short, potentially.
Yeah, we saw Rashad Jones stop Ivory earlier in the ball game on a 4th down. Koamisi did a nice job that time.
Is it enough? It is. I wonder if Miami would consider challenging here based on the spot.
I'm sure that Koamisi would like to challenge it because great penetration here and explosion. Ivory with that patented spin move after contact, with just too many Dolphins there for him to get too much, but got just enough.
So, new set of downs for the Jets to work with. 5:35 remaining in the first. Fake it. Fitzpatrick. Open man is Brandon Marshall, the former Dolphin. Across the 45. He's hit by Brent Grimes on the play. 20 yards through the air for New York.
Well, Marshall really gives a look at going deep here against Brent Grimes. Right there, Grimes is thinking, oh my, it's going to be a long one, and a great sharp cut back to the ball. Timing between Fitzpatrick and Marshall, perfect on that play.
Brent Grimes there defensively, and Pouncey's got an issue with that right leg being carted to the locker room. First down for the Jets. Fitzpatrick steps up. Little shovel for Ivory. And he's spun down across the 35-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup. Jones and Jenkins there defensively. Dan, we hear throughout the week how the Jets are going to pare it down, get back to basics. You've been around this game a long time. Is that real? Is that coach speak? How do you react when you hear those things?
Well, what you're seeing is a lot less movement out of Brandon Marshall. They're just lining him up. Fitzpatrick talked about they were playing too much of Where's Waldo with Marshall earlier this season. So very basic with their formations. A lot of window dressing.
2nd and 1. Ivory battling. Could not get to the perimeter. He's held for no gain. Needed a yard to get the first down.
I think Dan Campbell's message to his defense has been heard loud and clear because this front 7 doing a great job in short yardage so far in this first quarter. Remember, they're the 31st ranked team in stopping the run. And so far today, aside from that first run of Ivory's, they've done a good job containing him at the line of scrimmage.
Miami's on pace to give up 2,218 rushing yards. That would be the most since the 07 season when they went 1-15. And the bottom dropped out on the franchise. 3rd and 1. Fitzpatrick mishandles it. Gets up and will run for the first down on a busted play. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 5 yards. Look, I know he joked about it with us. Are you concern that a guy refuses to slide? I know in this situation, you're just looking for the first down, whatever it takes, but that quarterback position, you're a target.
Well, look at that black glove. Underneath that glove is a brace on that thumb. He had surgery on not too long ago. He's broken his leg running the ball, sliding head first, so it's got to be a concern, but it's not a concern of his.
So first down inside the 30. Free rush and a slap away. Rashad Jones is playing at a Pro Bowl level for Miami.
Now this is a blitz here by Rashad Jones, and Fitzpatrick has got to see this and throw this hot. Watch, right off the corner comes Rashad Jones, totally unblocked here, trying to get the ball out quickly, but good athletic move here to snuff this one and almost make the catch.
2nd and 10 for the Jets from the 28. Nickel package for Miami. 4 receivers set for New York. Play is whistled dead.
False start. Offense number 60. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
It's to Brickashaw Ferguson on the left side of that Jets line. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Guys, just an update on Mike Pouncey. It's his right foot. The return is questionable, but guys, he could put no weight on that right foot. He spent a lot of time with those doctors touching all those bones that surround that foot, and he was taken inside on the cart. If we hear more, we'll let you know, but it looks like Jameel Douglas will step in at center.
All right, thanks, Evan. Pro Bowl each of the last 2 years for Pouncey. 2nd and 15 for the Jets. Sideline route, caught by Marshall. Brandon Marshall is 6'4", maybe even closer to 6'5". Brent Grimes is listed at 5'10", maybe closer to 5'8".
Yeah, Marshall and Fitzpatrick, this is being on the same page. Looking for the back shoulder throw all the way down the sidelines. And you can see where the ball's delivered, nice and high to the 6'4" Marshall with a huge catch radius, good for 16.
We asked Grimes, how are you going to defend Marshall? He said, you still have to play your game, despite the fact that he's physical and runs good routes, great hands, harassing, play your style. Then play the drive. Fitzpatrick. It's dropped by Decker. Matched up with Michael Thomas in the corner.
Yeah, 6-point drop right there. There's no question he was going to roll it right into the end zone. He knows it, and so do all these fans here. Perfect throw by Fitzpatrick. Low to the outside. All he needs to do is hang on and think about his celebration dance. Not to be.
Second and 10. 2:02 to play in the first. Stephen Ridley is in, the former Patriot. Working from the gun. Lofts it high. Incomplete. Marshall and Grimes, the matchup in the end zone.
Now, Grimes did a great job this time of really limiting Marshall to very little room on the sidelines. Really pinched him as they went down the field. Grimes did not go for that little fake there, and you can see it just forces Marshall right to the sidelines. If the catch was made, it may have been made out of bounds.
Grimes sprained his knee in the first quarter of the first meeting in London. This is a 3rd and 10 now for New York. Jets trying to strike first. Fitzpatrick to the end zone. It's Marshall. Touchdown, Jets. To the well.
Well, he went to him 4 times on this drive. 3 of them have paid off, especially this one. As you can see, he's just too big and powerful for Grimes right there. And another perfect pass from Fitzpatrick. Pressure was bearing down on the quarterback, but he looked right up over the top of the pass rush and found his favorite receiver for the score.
12 plays, 72 yards. It took just under 6 minutes of game action. Extra point is added by Randy Bullock. And the Jets in front, 7-0 over Miami. Brandon Marshall, 8 touchdowns now on the season for the Jets. Fitzpatrick is 17th of the year. Jets go in front. Jets offense came out flat last week in that loss in Houston. 3 drives today, 119 total yards, and the touchdown, Fitzpatrick to Marshall. Big receiver against a smaller corner. Big receiver winning in that battle.
And a good pass protection for Fitzpatrick, too. He's made a couple of plays with his legs on that drive, but he's been on target most of the day.
In London, Marshall had a big first quarter. 3 catches, 89 yards against Miami. He's got 3 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown here. Flag down.
And kickoff out of bounds. Ball come all the way out
Kickoff
to the 40.
out of bounds. Kicking team number 9. Ball he places the 40-yard line. First down.
Damian Williams, the return man there. So once again, excellent field position for Miami. Find the perfect gift for your favorite sports fans. Team and player apparel and gear for every sport. Plus, free shipping when you shop CBS Sports. Shop now at cbssports.com/gift.
Believe it or not, this is the worst field position to start a drive that Miami's had today. First time they started at the Jets' 44-yard line. Second time they had it at midfield.
And it is Jamil Douglas, the rookie out of Arizona State, 4th-round pick, who is in for Mike Pouncey at center. Jay Ajayi gets the call. Another rookie out of Boise State, Damon Harrison, Big Snacks is there. And a flag is thrown at the 41. Jets are indicating it will be against Miami, but the Jets are actually not officials.
But they play one on TV.
Yes.
You know, Jamil Douglas actually moved the ball back from the 40-yard line about a half a yard. A little nervous, maybe.
Personal foul. Chop block. Offense number 84. 15-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
First penalty against Miami. It's Jordan Cameron called on the chop block. So back it up. That excellent field position now is at the 25 for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Cameron's going to come in motion from right to left, and there's the chop on Leonard Williams. Williams was being blocked at the time by Brandon Albert.
Ryan Tannehill in the first meeting against the Jets, 19 of 44, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Tannehill lets it fly, a wobbler, incomplete. Devontae Parker, the rookie out of Louisville, the intended receiver. NFL Today update, JB and Bart in New York.
Dan Fouts has to like this passing catch, Bart.
Tyrod Taylor's going to drop a dime on Sammy Watkins, who has 3 catches for 90 yards, capped off with this 28-yard touchdown catch.
Boy.
Buffalo up 10-0.
Perfect. Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
Yeah, I kind of like touchdown passes, you know?
Yeah. Do you?
Well, not better than ints and picks.
Second and 25. Tannehill gets rid of it. And knocked away. Ajayi with Calvin Pryor there defensively. The pressure came from Mike Catapano, 3rd year out of Princeton, former Kansas City Chief. Tannehill's now 3 of 8.
This is eerily similar to the game in London with the way the Jets are being more physical than the Dolphins, especially on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, the Jets are blitzing more than any team in the NFL, 49% of the time on passing plays. Arizona is second at just under 43%. Working out of the pistol on a 3rd and 25. Ajayi, the running back. Slowed down and then spun down just across the 30-yard line by Marcus Gilchrist. It's a 5-yard pickup. So 4th down for the Dolphins. Just about a minute left to play in this opening quarter.
Again, wasting excellent field position, getting nothing out of it.
Gilchrist limped off after making the play defensively. Matt Darr will punt it. Jeremy Curley is the return man. Darr is 3rd in the NFL in punting, 48.3. Was actually called for an unnecessary roughness penalty last week. Not sure how many times you see that from a punter over the course of a season. Returnable after the line drive kick. Curley weaves his way through traffic, and he's buried at the 31. 47-yard punt, an 8-yard return. The Jets get it back. They've got a 7-0 lead. We've got 29 seconds to play in the first. When you're trying to build your team into a consistent winner, one of the categories that you have to look at is how do you fare within your division. Miami has not fared well. 0-6 in its last 6 games within the AFC East.
Yeah, but look at the bright side. Their last win in division was against the Jets here.
So you're a glass is half full kind of guy?
My glass is about a third full on that stat.
Yeah. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 5 of 8 on the last drive. Ryan Tannehill's struggles continue against this Jets defense.
Hey, Mike 5-2, Mike 5-2.
And it's 1st and 10 at the New York 31. Motion man is Inunwa. Quick hitter. Marshall. Hit down low by Grimes. And a modest gain on first down. He picks up 3 yards for New York.
Good tackle that time by Brent Grimes. Marshall trying to give him the old dead leg there, but Grimes going low, which is easier for him to do than some.
That'll do it for this first quarter at the Meadowlands. The Jets with a 7-0 lead over the Miami Dolphins. We'll return to MetLife after these messages. You're watching the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50. Dan Campbell, Todd Bowles know each other quite well. Bowles coached in Dallas when Campbell was a player, then was a coach with him in Miami. Bowles said he's tough, he's smart, he's a straight shooter, he's an outstanding teacher. He was really impressed with the job he did when he took over the tight ends in Miami. Bowles was then the interim coach when Sperano got fired. Stephen Ridley getting an opportunity, and a flag is thrown at the 29. Kelvin Shepard rides him out of bounds. Loss of 1 on the play.
I think they're going to get Bilal Powell for holding. As both teams continue to really hurt themselves.
Holding. Offense number 29. Penalties decline. Result of the play. 3rd down.
Well, the Jets have now outscored their opponents 54-23 in first quarters this season. But New York has been outscored 97-50 in the second quarter. This is now a 3rd and 8 for the Jets. Just underway, second quarter at the Meadowlands. Ian Eagle, Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn, the rest of our NFL on CBS crew. Inunwa in motion. Fitzpatrick operating out of the gun. They handle the rush. Fitzpatrick does it. Incomplete. Diving attempt made by Decker, and the Jets will punt. It's 4th down. Earl Mitchell a little slow to get up.
And Decker a little slow on the route. He was settling down into the void in the secondary. As Mitchell having trouble getting off the field. And Fitzpatrick expected him to continue on his route. Miscommunication.
So Ryan Quigley will kick it. Brent Grimes is waiting for it at the 21. The rush. Spiraling kick. Grimes backpedals. Looking for an angle, and he gets hit hard. 45-yard punt. Lattimore with the hit after the 11-yard return. NFL Play 60, the NFL's movement for a more active generation. Encourages fans to get moving and play for 60 minutes every day. Run, jump, and race to Super Bowl 50 with the free NFL Play 60 app. Download today. Learn more at NFLRush.com. See the 6th graders, 11 of them, from Florham Park, Madison, and Harding, New Jersey. They led the Jets out of the tunnel during player introductions today as part of the Play 60 game plan. Punt, interception, punt for 3 possessions for Miami. And a whistle, penalty flag before this play gets going.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Bill Vinovich, busy man. Jason Fox, who's starting at right tackle for the injured Jawan James, gets called on the penalty. Clock's
good. Thanks.
You're welcome. So So a 1st and 15 now for the Dolphins. Line of scrimmage will be the 28. 17th false start of the season. That's tied for second in the NFL for the Dolphins. Low snap. Timed well, but Landry breaks the tackle of screen and turns it upfield. Jarvis Landry, sure-handed, and the run after catch ability.
Well, two good catches, one by Tannehill, and then Landry shakes off screen and actually picks up a sizable gain there. Tremendous strength in his hands and upper body strength, good for 7 yards, and it looked like he was going to be dropped for a 4 to 5 yard loss.
It's a 2nd and 8 now. Tannehill is 4 out of 9, 36 yards and a pick. Fake the handoff. Tannehill is sacked. Muhammad Wilkerson in a contract year. A loss of 10 on the play. Wilkerson 8 sacks on the season.
Yeah, he's going to beat Jason Fox, number 74 there. So Fox having a bad series with a false start, and then he gives up the 31st sack of the year on Tannehill. And now with the Jets with a 3rd down and long, they love to dial up the pressure here.
Tannehill has been sacked 170 times in his 3+ seasons in the league. That's the most in the NFL during that span. On a 3rd and 18. Tannehill steps up, throws, incomplete. Tried to squeeze it in with Parker, the intended receiver. Buster Screen ranging over for New York. It's 4th down.
Yeah, it looked like double coverage that time on Parker. On the outside, you see Darren Walls, and now from the inside comes Screen to get his right hand between the hands of Devontae Parker. Great play by Screen.
The 3rd 3 and out for Miami in this first half. Dar, the punter. Curley, the returner. Curley's got some room. Catches cleanly at the 30. Works his way to the outside, then tried to circle back. It's a 45-yard punt. And a 6-yard return for Curley. Jets have a 7-0 lead. They've got the football when we come back in the second quarter. Jets 7, Miami nothing with 12:42 remaining in this first half.
Hey, Mike 5-3, Mike 5-3.
Neither team has played well of late. Jets had only 267 yards of offense against Houston last week. Miami had just 210 yards in a loss to Dallas. The tackle out of the pocket. Throwing on the move. Low throw. Too low for Marshall. Penalty marker is down at the 47-yard line on the near side of the field.
Holding. Defense number 22. 5-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
That's Jamar Taylor, the 3rd-year corner out of Boise State, called on the hold.
And the hold was about 55 yards away from where the ball was thrown. Opposite side of the field.
The road team has won the last 7 meetings in this series. Jets are trying to sweep the Dolphins for the first time since 2007. Ivory slams it in there and picks up a yard. That's it. Rashad Jones in on the stop along with Sue. NFL Today update. JB and Bart Scott.
The Giants have owned Washington, but
Kirk Cousins continues his home dominance as he finds the giant killer, Deshaun Jackson, for the 63-yard bomb. Washington leads 10-0.
Iron Eagle, Dan Fouts.
Who wants to win the NFC East, Dan, exactly?
There's a couple of divisions you could say that about this year. I mean, come on.
How about in the AFC? 4 teams are over 500. New England, Cincinnati, Denver, and Pittsburgh. Bootleg. Fitzpatrick lines it up. On On the sideline toss to Marshall. They keep going back to that matchup, Marshall and Grimes.
Now this is Fitzpatrick at his best. After the fake, then rolling out and being able to throw on the run. And again, his timing with Marshall is impeccable. Marshall again will beat Grimes, beating him back to the ball. Good job of coming back to the ball by Marshall. Picks up 11 yards out to Dolphin territory.
We asked Fitzpatrick about the left thumb. He said, hasn't really been a huge issue. The brace protects the outside of the thumb. Flag comes down. Looking to hand it off to Ivory.
False start. Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
And it's Giacomini on that right side of the Jets line.
I thought the interesting thing he said about the thumb is, I asked him, how painful is it? He says, actually, it's more painful now after the surgery than it was before, which I'm not sure how to interpret that. Maybe the stitches are a little tight or something in there, but be able to play through that pain is very admirable.
Do you have a medical background, Dan?
Just on TV. I play doctor once in a while.
A lot of people are playing other things today. The throw, Fitzpatrick, off the hands of Enunwa.
I think he lost this in the sun. That ball, there's a gap in where the lights are in the stadium, and that ball looked like it came right through that gap. You can see the right side of the screen. And this is where the ball is thrown. He got his hands up for it. I'm a weatherman too at times on TV.
Clearly,
that? Yeah. It's a beautiful clear day, 41 degrees.
Many hats.
Very little wind.
Let's go kill.
2nd and 15.
Mike's 32. Kill.
Play clock is down to 2. Fitzpatrick on a give. Ivory is hit at midfield. Brought down by Thomas and Shepard for Miami. 3-yard gain for Chris Ivory. Last week, only 36 yards on the ground. Things peaked in that first meeting against Miami with 166 yards, a career high. Also had 146 against Washington.
And his first carry today was good for 16 yards. His last 7 have netted 10 yards.
You and I worked the Jets-New England game, and on the first play from scrimmage, Ivory just didn't look like himself, and the numbers have not been good for him since. Fitzpatrick trying to hit Enunwa downfield on a 3rd and 12. The Jets will punt.
That shows you just the impact a penalty has on a drive. Jets get out to midfield with a nice pass to Marshall on the perimeter, and then the penalty, false start on Giacomini, puts them behind the chains, and now they have to bring out the punter after 2 incompletes.
And this time it will be Jarvis Landry on the return for Miami. Quigley boots it high, end over end. Landry out of bounds. He's pushed as he crossed the 20-yard line. Miami has not played well yet. The Dolphins are only down 7-0, 9:54 to go, first half.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Jared the Galleria of Jewelry. The gift you'll treasure forever. Hyundai, an official sponsor of the NFL. And by Domino's. Order online at Domino's.com.
Darrelle Revis out with a concussion. His replacement, Marcus Williams, had an interception early in this game, but we have not seen him for a long stretch. We'll get a report from Evan Washburn in a moment. Buster Screen is in there. Walls and McDougal are also in play. Hand off Ajayi. Going up the gut and picks up a yard. Let's check in with Evan.
Hawaiian Marcus Williams questionable with the knee, but he has not been in since that interception. I just saw him go into the locker room. He hasn't had his helmet, so this secondary that was thin coming in just got a bit thinner.
All right, Evan, so Williams' return is questionable. Screen was signed to a big deal during the offseason, mostly as a slot defensive back. The pass to Landry. And he's brought down after the gain of 10. It's a first down for the Dolphins.
The Jets have been outstanding on defense so far today. Calvin Pryor with a big hit on Rashard Matthews early. Marcus Williams with the pick. He got hurt on his return. He got a hard hit to the leg right about there. That is a sack, 8th of the year for Wilkerson. Screen coming up with a big play. Dolphins with 42 yards in total offense here in the first half.
56.
First down for Miami. 8:50 to go, second quarter. Motion man is Deion Sims. Take the handoff. Tannehill, clean pocket. Steps up. Now the rush is coming, and Tannehill will sky that one towards the Jets sideline. Incomplete.
It's so frustrating to have that amount of time to throw against a three-man pass rush and not be able to find anybody. There's just not enough communication in the secondary for the receivers to find a way back to get in the vision of Tannehill. And he absorbs another hit in the pocket.
The offense has been struggling of late. Bill Lazor calling the plays for Miami. They have scored 20 points or less in 8 of their 10 games this season. The only two, the first two, when Campbell took over as the coach. There's the catch by Landry, and immediately he's hit by Buster Screen, limiting him to a 5-yard pickup. So it brings up third down for the Dolphins.
And really the one thing the Dolphins have failed to do is to get Jordan Cameron involved in the passing game. In fact, he's not even in the huddle right now. He's replaced by Deion Sims. But Cameron, a threat, had a touchdown catch last week against the Cowboys.
And no Mike Pouncey, so Jamil Douglas has come in. There have been a number of low snaps from Douglas, the rookie out of Arizona State. Dime package for the Jets. Walls and McDougal in. 3rd and 5. Tannehill takes a timeout. Play clock was winding down. Stops the clock. 7:54 remaining. Second quarter at the Meadowlands. Jets 7, Miami nothing. 3rd and 4th down conversions. You combine them, week 4 against the Jets, an 0 of 16 for Miami. They've taken an 0 for so far today. This is a 3rd and 5. Again, a low snap. Tannehill too high for Stills. The problems continue on the exchange. Jamil Douglas to Ryan Tannehill.
Well, look how low his bottom is. It's just he has no way of getting the ball all the way up so that Tannehill can make an easy catch of this. He's not a natural center.
So Douglas stepping in for the Pro Bowler Mike Pouncey and having his problems.
He should be over on the sidelines practicing.
Dar boots it. Sailing kick, backpedaling, Curley from the 16. Curley cuts it upfield and brought down to the 21. 48-yard punt, 5-yard return. Zach Vigil makes the play on special teams. The rookie out of Utah State. So the Jets enter action at 5-5. Miami is 4-6. Their playoff hopes are on life support right now. Jets are in the mix. They lost the head-to-head matchup with Houston. They lost to Buffalo on Thursday night. They'll have the Bills once again, this time in upstate New York. Buffalo currently holding on to a 10-7 lead against Kansas City.
Hey, Mike,
the important matchup for wild card positioning. First and 10 of the 21 for New York. 7:39 to play, first half. Ivory and Bohannon in the backfield. Dump off. Ivory just throws his body around. Jamar Taylor gets him down low. It's a 5-yard pickup on the catch and run for Ivory.
Yeah, second catch of the day for Ivory. But you just don't want to see him out if you're a defender. Out in the open spaces where you know he's not going to try and go around you, make you miss. He's going to make you miss by tattooing you.
Earl Mitchell, calf injury. His return is doubtful. Jordan Phillips is in for him. We're yet to see Quentin Coples, the former Jet. It's been moved by Ivory. And there is Copels on the field on that play. And Ndamukong Suh was involved in the stop. Copels was released by the Jets earlier this week and then scooped up, claimed off of waivers by Miami.
Well, we expect to see him for 15 to 20 snaps today. Defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo wants to get him involved, especially as a defensive end, where he can go back to his college days when he has hand on the ground, rushing the passer, something he does very well.
Only had 5 snaps last week for the Jets in the loss in Houston. He was at linebacker in the 3-4 for New York, but they ended a 4-3 for Miami. Rainbow delivery broken up. Bilal Powell could not secure it in a matchup with Jelani Jenkins, and it's 4th down.
But really another nice throw by Fitzpatrick and good coverage by Jenkins. This ball, Powell had it for a minute, but you see the right hand come in and swipe it and knock it to the ground. Great reaction by Jenkins there. That was not a catch, okay? I know there's a lot of confusion, but that was not a catch.
Not a catch?
No. Incomplete.
The punt from Quigley towards the sideline just dives over there and out of bounds. Brent Grimes couldn't return it. 55-yard kick from Quigley.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. And by Garmin Fitness. Let's beat yesterday.
Total yards, Jets at 122 in that first quarter. Miami held to 35. It has not improved for the Dolphins in the second quarter, and the injuries continue to mount. Jordan Phillips, who stepped in for the injured Earl Mitchell, headed to the locker room for Miami. First and 10 at the 17 of the Dolphins. We'll see if Jamil Douglas can rebound from his issues snapping the football. Tannehill, it's on time. Jarvis Landry breaks one tackle and tripped as he crossed the 30-yard line. First down for the Dolphins. It was Henderson who missed initially. 14-yard pickup for Miami.
Well, smart play call by Bill Lazor. Get your playmakers involved and get the ball to them in space here. Good job by Landry. So quick and strong.
And Miami is moving quickly here. It's a give to Miller, looking to plow, and there's nothing inside. A gain of 1. Damon Harrison, big body, 6'4", 350 pounds, in on the stop. Miller has been a non-factor. 3 carries, 2 yards for the Dolphins.
And it's so disconcerting for Tannehill to have to worry about the snap each time. You can almost see a little hesitation there with him. Instead of having his eyes down the field, reading the defense, wondering what type of pressure's coming, he's got to focus on just getting the snap.
Douglas did not play center at Arizona State. He played tackle and guard. Miami has had a couple of backup centers on the roster, no longer part of the group. Josh McClendon and Sam Brenner. Tannehill. Connection made to Landry. They're trying to ride Landry right now, and why not? Jarvis Landry having a big season for Miami. The difference maker for the Dolphins, 12 yards on the hookup.
He's got 69 catches on the year, and the great thing he did on that hook route was to work his way between defenders right back to Tannehill. Looked like he was surrounded by Jets, but the ball right on target. And they get a first down out of it.
From the 44 of Miami, we approach 4 minutes to go in this second quarter. Motion man is Jordan Cameron. He's yet to catch a ball. Cameron, the intended receiver. The juggle.
He got it.
It's a clean catch across midfield. 7 yards on the completion.
Good prediction, too, by you. Look at this catch, though. I didn't think he thought that it would be this difficult to catch his first pass of the day. Tremendous body control as he reaches behind him and recognizes the ball's not hit the ground. Perfect catch.
Pro Bowler with Cleveland in 2013, signed to a 2-year, $15 million deal during the offseason to start in Miami. 2nd and 3. Low snap again, handed off to Miller. Can't spin on Henderson. He's thrown down. Forward progress will get him to the 49. Wilkerson, first man there.
And according to Evan Washburn, Tannehill, in that last time that Miami was on the sidelines, Tannehill went over to Douglas and said, get the ball up higher. I'll take a high snap more than a low snap. But then you worry about overcompensation and one sailing over the quarterback's head.
And they've had issues with that this season, as we talked about.
And that was with Pouncey.
Cameron lines up as a receiver on the outside. 3rd and 3 with a play clock at 2. At 1. Just get the play off. Tannehill throws. Incomplete. The big hit from Darren Walls. Flag was thrown at the 49. Did they run out of time?
Well, this was not thrown by the back judge who keeps the time. This was thrown by the line judge. So maybe
could be movement.
Illegal shift. Offense. 2 men moving, did not get set. Penalties declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
So Damian Williams takes that shot on the screen pass. Miami is yet to convert on a 3rd down, and that was 3rd and manageable. They faced 3rd and long all game long against the Jets in the first meeting.
Yeah, they were 0 for 12 in that game, and not much better on 4th down when they were 0 for 4.
So Matt Darr will punt it for the 5th time today. High kick. Curley settles under it. Fair catch called for it. And the Jets will have it inside the 10 after the 41-yard punt by Darr. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report, JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher, latest NFL scores and highlights, as well as a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. That's all coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Jets with a 7-0 lead on Miami. Now the Dolphins banged up all over their roster, checking on the right hand of Damian Williams, second-year running back from Oklahoma. C.J. Mosley is in. No Mitchell, no Phillips for Miami on that front. First down for Fitzpatrick. Straight back. Looking. Fitzpatrick throws. Open man. Quincy Enunwa. Out of bounds. Fitzpatrick talked about Enunwa, how physical he is, the presence he brings in the passing game and the run game because of his blocking skills.
And does a nice job of forcing McCain to the inside and then sharply cutting to the outside. And again, the rhythm in this passing game has been perfect between quarterback and receivers. That was an out route thrown on time and picks up 18 yards and gives the Jets a little bit of breathing room.
Last week was his first game back from a 4-game suspension for violating the league's personal conduct policy. And we'll hit the 2-minute warning in this first half. 7-0 the Jets on top of the Dolphins. AFC East action on CBS. Jets thought they had points. Fitzpatrick to Decker, but the drop by Decker upsetted himself. Fitzpatrick, though, goes to the other side. And Brandon Marshall for the only points of the day. Marshall and Decker have been the 1-2 punch for the Jets in the passing game this season. But only a 7-0 lead for the Jets. They've outgained Miami 160-81 in this first half. Looking for more points before we hit the break. 2 minutes to go. Bilal Powell up the middle. Powell takes it across the 40-yard line. 17-yard rip for Powell. He is back after missing 4 games with a high ankle sprain. He returned last week.
Good job there by Giacomini getting to the second level to give Powell that big gain.
We're down to 1:35 to play first half. Fitzpatrick in the air. Catch is made in traffic by Enunwa. First down for the Jets into Miami territory at the 46, 11 yards on the pass play.
Well, Enunwa's got good size for a wide receiver. Good blocker, dependable.
Hand off to Powell, and Powell brought down short of the 40-yard line by Vernon. It's a 3.5-yard gain. There is no team in the NFL that targets tight ends less than the Jets. Enunwa is basically like their tight end at 6'2", 225 pounds and a physical presence. Under a minute to go now. Pass to the outside, and Decker. Miami wants it incomplete. And a timeout taken with 50 seconds to play in the first half. Ball will be spotted at the 37. Coming up, Verizon Halftime Report. JB, Tony, Bart, Boomer, Coach Cowher, scores and highlights, and a preview of Thursday Night Football on CBS and the NFL Network. That's coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. This is the fourth 3rd and 1 the Jets have faced in this first half. Handed off to Powell. He's got enough for the first down. Across the 35, we're down to 44 seconds and counting remaining in the second quarter. 6-yard pickup for Powell. He'll line up as a receiver. Shotgun, Fitzpatrick slings it over the middle. It's dropped by Enunwa. Kelvin Shepard there defensively for Miami. It stops the clock with 31 seconds remaining.
Shepard does a good job here of harassing Enunwa as the ball gets there. You can see also the eyes of Enunwa looking downfield before he tried to make this catch.
So Enunwa's played a pretty big role in this first half. He's been targeted a number of times by the Jets. 20th drop pass of the season for New York. 2nd and 10. Play is whistled dead. Flag comes flying as Fitzpatrick was looking downfield. Dolvinovich.
False start. Offense number 60. 5-yard penalty. Still second down. There's no...
And it's Ferguson called on the false start. So back it up to the 37-yard line. Randy Bullock replacing the injured Nick Folk, who was placed on IR. Bullock, the former Houston Texan.
His range, his career long is 55, so that penalty puts him right about at that limit.
5 penalties against the Jets, 4 called on the New York offense. 2nd and 15. Fitzpatrick. Wide open, Eric Decker goes airborne, and Decker brought down short of the 20-yard line by Rashad Jones.
Now Decker, after the catch, trying to split defenders here, and Hewitt and Rashad Jones here come in and put him on his wallet, but that puts the Jets in field goal range for Randy Bullock.
The hurdle by Decker. And a timeout taken. The Jets have 1 timeout left. Line of scrimmage is now the 22.
Now the Dolphins ought to be thinking about Brandon Marshall and giving Brent Grimes some help on the outside, because this is fade territory to the end zone.
Bilal Powell was in the backfield.
It looks like single coverage on the outside on Marshall by Grimes.
It's a 4-receiver set.
And you can see Marshall signaling to Fitzpatrick.
Shotgun. Fitzpatrick looks to the other side. Smash it to the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Devin Smith. In a matchup with Jamar Taylor.
Taylor does a real good job of forcing Smith to the corner there. A little bit of contact there could have been called, but Fitzpatrick takes a shot there from Olivier Vernon.
Marshall was upset.
He wants the back shoulder throw.
2nd down, 21 seconds left in the half. Fitzpatrick hooks a pass underneath. Powell breaks 1 tackle, but can't break free of Vernon. 14 seconds remaining. And a player down. It's C.J. Mosley, former Jet.
How many more injuries can this Dolphin team take? And Vernon getting attended to as well.
Well, they're running out of defensive tackles.
Phillips in the locker room. Earl Mitchell in the locker room.
No timeout charge to the Jets because of the injury.
And what a break that is. That gives him a chance to use the entire field and still have that timeout. They don't have to throw the ball to the sidelines here. And at this range on the 21-yard line, that injury, although unfortunate for Mosley, is absolutely huge for the Jets.
Dan, Jordan Phillips is back on the field for Miami. So Phillips, who left earlier, has returned. Mosley is limping noticeably, heading to the Miami sideline. Phillips is the rookie out of Oklahoma, second-round draft pick, has a couple of sacks this season for the Dolphins.
Sometimes you got to tell the quarterback that, hey, give me a chance, man. Marshall having a good first half with 5 catches, 1 touchdown, 67 yards. But that time, the Dolphins, they were going to double Marshall. The safety over the top, and Grimes with the underneath coverage.
Third down for the Jets. They've got a 7-0 lead on Miami. 14 seconds remain on the clock. Tail end of the second quarter.
Some type of issue on the sidelines. Dan Campbell talking to Bill Vinovich.
Now, this has been a long discussion. And now Vinovich will make his way towards the Jets huddle.
Well, what Campbell's saying is that the Jets actually called timeout before it was evident that Mosley was injured.
Third down. Powell in the backfield. 4 receivers set for New York. 11th play of the drive. A jump. Fingers pointing, and flags all over the field.
It's like encroachment on Ndamukong Suh.
Five penalties against the Jets, 3 against Miami.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense number 93. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
It is Suh.
Suh trying to split the gap between Winters and Giacomini, trying to get an edge on that snap count as well.
So now a 3rd and 4. Fitzpatrick steps, rifles, end zone. It's caught. Devin Smith, touchdown Jets. Two big drops a week ago, and Smith has his first NFL touchdown.
And you can just see how elated and thrilled his teammates are for him. It's a tough catch on the post route. Tight coverage by Taylor. And he goes up and snatches it out of the air. Another great throw, too, by Fitzpatrick. High and away from the defender. And a huge play for the confidence of the rookie from Ohio State.
Todd Bowles told us that he was making good progress. Everybody saw the 2 big drops last week, but they felt that he was playing faster than he had all season. They expected him to contribute today, and here he is with his first touchdown catch of his career, capping off an 11-play, 92-yard drive. They used up just about all the time. Randy Bullock, the extra point. 14-0 Jets. Fitzpatrick hooking up with a rookie Smith.
Yeah, he's thrown 26 times in the first half. Watch him just find a nice, clean throwing lane. That offensive line doing a great job of keeping the Dolphins away. And then the rookie making a spectacular, tough catch in the middle of the end zone.
Devin Smith, training camp, broken ribs, a collapsed lung, and Marshall nearly broke another rib with that very tight embrace.
Well, you can see a kid's work ethic in practice. You can see how much he cares about it. Nobody wants to drop a pass. Nobody wants to drop a touchdown pass. It was a difficult one last week in the ball game, but it wasn't as hard as that one he just made.
Fitzpatrick was 6 of 8 on the drive, 68 yards, a touchdown. He is 15 of 26 overall, $173 through the air, and 2 touchdowns. Last 2 weeks, numbers have not been very good for Fitzpatrick and for this Jets offense. Had surgery on his left thumb November 13th. He turned 33 on Tuesday. And Ryan Fitzpatrick leading the Jets to 234 total yards in the first half. Bullock kicks it off. And he drills it. Kenny Stills, the return man, unreturnable. Miami will have it at the 20-yard line with 8 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, good combination route for the Jets here. You're going to see Decker coming to the outside, and then to the post goes Devin Smith. And it's man-to-man coverage. Good coverage by Taylor, but a better throw and a better catch.
8 seconds left to play in this second quarter. Motion man is the veteran Jennings. Handed off to Miller. And there's nothing there. That's going to do it for this first half. This is the 3rd time this season the Miami Dolphins have had less than 10 yards rushing in the first half. 8 rushing yards for Miami. Smith, big smile on his face. Not so much for Dan Campbell and the Dolphins. 14-0. The Jets on top of the Dolphins. Jets trying to get to 6-5 on the season. We'll come back. Verizon halftime reports coming up after this message and a word from your local station. This is the NFL on CBS. Is sacked. Muhammad Wilkerson. Fitzpatrick rifles. It's caught. And Smith has his first NFL touchdown. Getting ready for third quarter action at MetLife. 14-0. The Jets on top of the Dolphins. Now, who are you loving? Presented by McDonald's. Game time gold. Fitzpatrick to Smith, the connection at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah, big play for the Jets. Maybe even a bigger play for Smith after his struggles this year with injuries and drop passes.
This game has not been played at the highest of levels. Ian Eagle along with Dan Fouts, Evan Washburn down on the sidelines, but the Jets will take it. A 14-0 lead. Miami struggles continue on the offensive end. Can't convert on third down. Can't move the football. This is an ongoing problem for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and they promised to be more physical. They were going to pare down their game plan and everything and get after the Jets. They knew that the Jets in London really were a more physical team, but these numbers just are atrocious. I mean, 0 for 6 on third down conversions, 8 yards rushing. That's unheard of in the National Football League.
Well, they've talked about getting Lamar Miller established. What's your perspective? The running game, they've got no balance right now whatsoever.
Well, they knew it's going to be tough running between the tackles. They said they're going to run to the perimeter. We should see more zone read options, maybe giving Tannehill a chance to get the ball on the perimeter and make some plays that way. But they have to open up something in this running game to get Miller going. Remember, Miller is a home run threat. He had a 97-yard run against the Jets for a touchdown. And this year he's got an 85-yard touchdown run. So he has that potential. You just have to tap into it.
81 total yards for Miami in the first half. Trying to avoid a 4-7 record. While the Jets are trying to stay in the playoff hunt. The way things are sizing up in the AFC, it's all bunched up for that wild card position. Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Buffalo, Oakland, all in the mix. Randy Bullock will kick it off to Damian Williams, the deep man for the Dolphins. Miami has not had a winning record in the division since 2009. And this team has won between 6 and 8 games each of the last 6 seasons. Bullock on the kickoff. Williams will return it 8 yards deep. Williams forced towards the sideline by Darren Walls on special teams. We check in with Evan Washburn.
We spoke with Dan Campbell, and the priority for this offense to try and get some momentum, guys, is they're going to look to go with the no huddle. But Mike Pouncey just walked by me with a boot on that right foot, so don't expect to see him back in this game. As for Jamil Douglas, Dan Campbell said it's his first game at center, but he's just got to pick it up, and they got to help around him. As for Todd Bowles and the Jets, he likes what his team's doing, obviously, but he wants them to commit to the run for a full game. Guys?
All right, Evan, thanks very much. The one thing, looking back, we've called a bunch of Dolphins games through the years, Dan. Tannehill's part of his repertoire has been running the football, design runs. You just alluded to it. It's just not something we've seen a whole lot of this year in the game plan.
And in the London game, he only ran the ball one time.
Tannehill underneath. Damian Williams takes a shot from David Harris. 3-yard pickup on the pass. Tannehill, 57 rushing yards this season with a long of just 10.
And Damian Williams really made a bad decision bringing that kickoff out of the end zone. Caught it about 7-8 yards deep and could barely get out past the 10-yard line.
Mike Pouncey. There's the boot that Evan mentioned. Jamil Douglas, the rookie out of Arizona State, in there to replace him. On second down, bootleg. Tannehill flicks it to Devontae Parker. Parker, talented rookie from Louisville, but just his 5th catch of the season. Number 14 pick overall. That's a 20-yard pass play.
A good job by Tannehill getting out of the pocket on the run. Throws very well on the run and puts that ball right to the face mask of Parker.
65% of Miami's plays this season have been passing plays, 3rd highest in the league, entering Week 12 behind Detroit and San Diego. First catch for Parker since Week 3 against Buffalo. Shotgun for Tannehill. Fake it. Dump it off. Miller gets drilled in the backfield by Pryor. Calvin Pryor was dealing with an injury, missed 3 games with a high left ankle sprain. He is back in a big way.
Really a solid tackle there. And see, Wilkerson also read that screen pass to Miller. Huge loss there, 7 yards.
So a 2nd and 17 now for Miami. Working from the gun, Tannehill steps up. Over the middle, it's broken up. Parker, the intended receiver. Darren Walls back there defensively. No Revis. Marcus Williams out with an injury as well.
Well, Walls anticipates this route and then breaks on it. Gets his right hand in front of Parker to knock it down. What a good play by Walls. He's been on a couple filling in.
3rd and 17 for the Dolphins. Motion man is Deion Sims. Tannehill handles the snap, moving pocket. Tannehill right through the hands of Landry, incomplete. In a matchup with Buster Screen, and it's 4th down.
Now that play had very little chance of success. It started with another bad snap that threw the timing off for Tannehill to escape the pocket here. Down below his knees, now he's got to straighten up, and by that time, to get outside, throwing that fastball to Landry, had no chance of picking up the first down.
Dar to punt it once again for Miami. Jeremy Curley standing at his own 24-yard line for New York. Big kick. Curley from the 16. Makes a cut. Down the sideline, Curley. Terrific return by Jeremy Curley. His longest of the season, 58 yards, hit by Michael Thomas on special teams.
That's a case of out-kicking your coverage by Matt Dar. 55-yard punt. It's going to be brought back 58. You could just tell Curley saw that punt. Good spiral way down the field, but the coverage was not underneath it when Curley made the catch. He had a lot of room to run along that left sideline.
And the Jets in business at the Miami 25 with 12:40 to go in the third, trying to add to their 14-0 lead. Marshall was the go-to guy in the first half. 5 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. First down for the Jets. Single setback is Ivory. Through the air. Catch by Marshall. Brought down at the 21. 4-yard gain for the Jets. Brandon Marshall had a stint with the Miami Dolphins, started his career with Denver, eventually was with the Bears, and then acquired in a deal with Chicago. He's had 5 100-plus catch seasons in his NFL career. This could be number 6.
I had one in London against the Dolphins. Went for 128 on 7 catches.
Ivory to the outside. Ivory's got the angle and he's out of bounds. Penalty marker thrown at the 26.
Offense number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
And this one's on Brian Winters, who has stepped in for the injured Willie Colon, out for the season.
Well, he held Ndamukong Suh. And that's right, exactly where Ivory ran, behind that right side.
Well, the Jets getting Mangold back, which has made life easier for Ryan Fitzpatrick. He said if Mangold's not in there, he's got to be a little more communicative out there instead of being able to just give Nick a look, and they know they're on the same page. He gave credit to Wesley Johnson, but Mangold's a Pro Bowler. 2nd and 16. Fitzpatrick to the sideline. On time to Eric Decker in a matchup with Bryce McCain. 14 yards.
But again, the timing between Decker and Fitzpatrick, just like it was between Marshall and Fitzpatrick. I think Fitzpatrick looking very trim as well as being on time.
You're saying the beard is looking trim? Is that what you're alluding to?
He looks marvelous.
He went from looking like a Civil War general to a Brooklyn hipster in one trim. 3rd and 2. Powell up the middle, fighting inside the 15. It is enough for a first down. Needed 2, got 3. All right, here was the look last week from Ryan Fitzpatrick. And on his birthday, he decided to make some changes. And he said it was like a Vulcan mind meld that he used on people because, yes, he's a year older officially, but he looks 10 years younger with the beard trim.
His arm looks 10 years younger, too. I mean, a lot of snap on the ball. Timing has been very good. And he looks sharp. More ways than one.
Line of scrimmage is the 14. Fitzpatrick will run. And he's down inside the 5. Ryan Fitzpatrick going head first as he always does.
Yeah, I think he got a bad mark here because going head first, you get all the slide until you're touched by the defender.
Little smile at the end of the play with Kelvin Shepard.
Even his opponents appreciate his fire and competitiveness. You know his teammates love it, but in the league, it's one thing that all players respect is a competitor. That's what Fitz is.
We asked Brent Grimes about it. He said he's competitive, he's a gamer, he's not scared of the moment. First down for the Jets.
He got it by a hair.
Yeah, a few of them. Facial hair. First and goal inside the 5 for New York. The most touchdowns thrown in NFL history by an Ivy Leaguer, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He haven't been a whole lot of Ivy Leaguers, have there?
Are you ruining the moment for Ryan? Motion man is Powell on a 1st and goal for New York. Ridley. They're trying to get Ridley involved. He gets stacked up. Giacomini is pushing the other way. And they'll mark him down after a gain of 1.5 yards or 2, depending on the spot.
Yeah, there's not a stat for what Giacomini does, but what he does is good. He helps his offensive line. He helps his running backs, always giving the extra effort here. Look at him, number 68 here, pushing and shoving and making sure that Ridley falls forward. Assist for Giacomini.
2nd and goal. Ivory in the backfield. Motion man is Inunua. Fitzpatrick on the line. Incomplete. Decker and a knockaway by Taylor.
Boy, Taylor seemed to know what this was coming. The slant route here is he's going to beat Decker to the ball. Decker usually can overpower defensive backs, but Taylor wisely jumped in front and forced Decker away from the ball.
It's a 3rd and goal for the Jets.
A must stop for Miami.
7th play of the drive. Ivory in the backfield. Fitzpatrick, quick hit. Touchdown! Eric Decker into the end zone for New York. Fitzpatrick on the money. And the Jets extend their lead here in the 3rd.
Well, Decker says, you got me the first time, but not this time. He just comes straight down the line here, and Nunwa clears out Taylor, or Bryce McCain, and Decker gets inside of Taylor on the slant route. And a perfectly delivered ball for the 3rd touchdown pass of the day for Fitzpatrick.
So a touchdown to Decker, a touchdown to Marshall, a touchdown to Smith. Remember, the 58-yard punt return set things up by Curley. And Bullock on for the extra point. It's 21-0. 8:47 to go in the 3rd. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 3 touchdowns on the day. Bowling for a win for the Jets. Dan, did you have any doubt who the Jets quarterback would be this week?
No, because Fitzpatrick is a gamer, and he's going to keep fighting, and he's going to give you everything he's got. He's a smart guy, knows the offense, knows Chan Gailey. He has had his ups and downs in his career, but he's still here. He's still playing at a high level.
Randy Bullock, the kickoff. Williams will take it out. Running away, Williams gets hit from the side as he crossed the 20-yard line by Trevor Riley on special teams. It's 21-0 Jets. 3rd quarter action continues from Jersey.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. The awarded rewarding Jeep Grand Cherokee. And by State Farm. Find your agent at statefarm.com.
Wednesday on CBS, a heartbreaking event will shake these doctors to their core. Don't miss a new Code Black. That's Wednesday at 10, 9 Central, only CBS. 21-0, Jets in front. Miami takes over with a 1st and 10 at its own 23. Miller in the backfield, working out of the pistol. Tannehill, downfield, incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. The recovery by Gilchrist as we check in with Evan Washburn.
Well, guys, just want to update you on some key injuries for the Miami Dolphins. It's been a huge storyline. We told you coming out to start the 3rd, Mike Pouncey's out with that foot injury. A couple more. Rashard Matthews, a chest and rib injury. He is out. C.J. Mosley, we saw go down to close out the first half. He's out with a calf. And lastly, Earl Mitchell is doubtful with a calf injury. Dan Campbell said there are no excuses, though. Everybody's nicked up, but this is a lot for Miami to take.
All right, Evan, appreciate the update. Remember, they're playing without Jawan James, their starting right tackle. He's missed the extended time. Tannehill is on time to Parker. First down across the 35, covering 13 yards, working against Buster's screen.
Yeah, the previous play, Marcus Gilchrist did a great job of knocking the ball away from Landry, but Tannehill now seeming to find a little bit of rhythm with the two good passes to start this possession.
He is 13 of 25, 112 yards, and an interception. Signed that 6-year, $96 million extension during the offseason. Tannehill floats it to the outside, and Lamar Miller, modest gain. In fact, just a pickup of one.
It's been a rough afternoon for Tannehill, partially because he's had to struggle just catching the snaps from backup center Jamil Douglas. Douglas, who was a guard and center when he played in college at Arizona State University, filling in for Mike Pouncey.
This Miami squad will be home for Baltimore, and then they'll take on the Giants Monday Night Football Week 14. Second and 9. Tannehill. Deep ball try. Incomplete. Parker down the sideline with Cromartie.
Yeah, I don't think Parker expected this ball. It's man-to-man because it's a blitz by the Jets. Cromartie, really a smart move there to get his body in front of Parker. And Parker just kind of giving up on the route at the end of it. Close to being intercepted by Cromartie.
It's a 3rd and 9 now for the Dolphins. Jets lead at 21-0 here in the third quarter. Damian Williams checks in, sets up to the side of Tannehill. Deep drop, stepping up, fires. Intercepted. Cromartie comes away with the football. They will rule it incomplete.
I was going to say the ball hit the ground, but great coverage by Cromartie on back-to-back passes from the Dolphins. That's worth a challenge right there. It looked like he may have got that right arm underneath the ball. Ball did hit the ground, but he controlled it with the right hand.
And the fans just saw what we saw as they put it on the big screen here at MetLife.
And Todd Bowles did too, so he threw the red challenge flag.
And Cromartie is just making his case to the coaches on the sideline.
New York is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
I secured it.
Timeout.
Looking for his first pick of the season. Will they reverse it? Vinovich will take a look. Bill Vinovich ready to go.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands, incomplete pass.
All right, that's the view of Bill Vinovich. Mike Carey, our rules expert, was watching the play as well. Mike, what'd you see?
Hey, I think they're trying to support the ruling on the field. This is a clear picture of what it takes to make a catch. Control well above the ground, maintains control after the ball hits the ground. In my view, in the booth, if I'm there, I call this an interception.
All right, Mike, we appreciate the insight. Antonio Cromartie certainly agrees with you, as does Todd Bowles. The officials here rule with the call that was made on the field, which was incomplete. The punt from Dar. Curley had the big return earlier in the quarter. And he's brought down short of the 30-yard line by Pazinger on special teams, a 44-yard punt and an 8-yard return. 21-0, the Jets in front. Let's take you back. Super Bowl memories. Yeah, I think you remember this one, Dan. Joe Namath guaranteed the victory over the Colts, and the Jets made good on that promise. Jet defenders picked off 4 passes on the day. New York a 16-7 win. Namath holds up that #1 sign on his way to the locker room. The Jets' only Super Bowl appearance of victory. Bootleg, sidearm toss, dropped by Bohannon, incomplete.
And great to see so many of the Jets coming back for homecoming weekend. Are they honored?
Jelani Jenkins was shaken up on the play. Emerson Boozer inducted into the Jets Ring of Honor. 10-year playing career, part of that Super Bowl team. And as you mentioned, Dan, so many of his former teammates and Jets players through the years coming back today to honor Boozer. Matt Snell also inducted. Matt did not attend the ceremonies.
Yeah, going back to that incomplete pass, it looked like an interception. I think I've got it figured out. So much confusion throughout the year on what is a catch, what is not a catch. You have to have your catch notarized.
Yeah.
So one of the officials has to be a notary public, okay? If we have that, then once it's notarized, it's good.
I think you've solved all the issues right there in that one statement.
Thank you. It's been a busy day.
Jelani Jenkins limping off the field, getting some help. Cromartie thought he had his first pick of the season. And Jenkins banged up. Dan Campbell didn't think he would play this week, but practice on Thursday and Friday started to show signs that he was back from the injured ankle. Jenkins was hurt early in this game and now hurt again in the third. Through the hands of Bilal Powell. Incomplete. Rashad Jones over there.
This is too much of a fastball from Fitzpatrick to Powell, also thrown behind him, and Powell anticipating coverage coming up. There's no way to make that catch. Difficult maneuver to make that catch by Powell.
So that's 5 drops today now for the Jets. Back-to-back on this drive. A 3rd and 10 with 6:58 to play in the third. Powell remains in there. Motion man is Inunwa. 3rd and long for New York. Fitzpatrick steps up and gets crushed from behind. Olivier Vernon.
Now, this is just what the Dolphins need. Maybe have their defense take control of this game right now. But Vernon getting by DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and he picks up his 4th sack of the season.
Quigley will punt it. Brent Grimes is the return man at the 32-yard line for Miami. Big kick from Quigley, sending Grimes all the way back. Grimes, pretty move. Grimes stays on his feet to the 45. Brought down on special teams by Trevor Riley. 57-yard punt and a 27-yard return. Grimes showing off some natural track ability on the return.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Walmart. Walmart has everything you need to share wonder every day. And by Verizon. Watch live primetime games with NFL Mobile, only on Verizon.
Jets 21, Miami nothing with 6:09 to go in the third quarter. Dolphins take over with a 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
52, 56, triple.
Cowboys snapped a 7-game losing streak last week with that win over Miami. Take the pass, Landry. The running play across midfield, hit by Muhammad Wilkerson. It's a 4-yard pickup for the multifaceted Jarvis Landry. Tannehill and Fitzpatrick, the Ryans going at it, and it's the Jets' Ryan that has gotten the better of the matchup. 193 yards, 3 touchdowns for Fitzpatrick.
And that was the first rush of the second half for the Dolphins, and it was on a trick play.
2nd and 6. Tannehill looking downfield. Pump. Tannehill avoids the rush, throws on the move to Landry with a flag down back at the 43. It's a first down if it stands. It doesn't appear that it will.
Now they're going to get Jamil Douglas for holding.
Holding, offense number 75. 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Douglas started the season as the starter at right guard. He was then beat out by Billy Turner, and then eventually put in the role of backup guard, backup center. And today he has been forced to play center because of the injury to Mike Pouncey.
And again, the Dolphins have great field position. That first quarter, their first 3 drives, they had similar type of field position to start their drive. But again, it's miscues, mistakes, penalties that are just their own worst enemy.
Last week, season low in total yards, passing yards, and time of possession. 2nd and 16, Tannehill to Cameron. Got across the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd and long after the 6-yard pickup by the 5th-year tight end, Jordan Cameron.
And just his second catch of the afternoon, and really the second target. And now another 3rd down and another 3rd and long. It's been plaguing the Dolphins all year long. Today, 0 for 8 on 3rd downs. So you add that to the Miami Jet game in London, that disaster when they were 0 for 12 on 3rd downs. Unbelievable.
Helpless feeling for Mike Pouncey, one of the leaders of this offense on the sideline. 3rd and 10, Tannehill. It's complete. Devontae Parker. And Miami will move the chains.
And no flags on the play. Beautiful throw by Tannehill. And watch Parker working along the sidelines here. Gets both feet down. And an obvious huge play for the Dolphins.
So first time they've converted on 3rd down today. Now 1 of 9. Took an offer in week 4 against the Jets. First down at the 40.
Troubles again with the snap. That time Douglas snapping the ball early. Tannehill lucky to hang on to it. Nobody else moved but Douglas.
Everything went into slow motion.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, that's an incorrect call. There's no false start here because the only guy that started was the center.
So the timing completely off on the snap by Douglas. 1st and 15 for Miami. We are under 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. Ajayi is back in, the rookie from Boise State. Tannehill to throw it. Tannehill. Perfect pass to Landry. Down the sideline, gets hit by screen. On the deep ball to Landry and covers 40 yards from Tannehill.
Perfectly described by you and perfectly thrown by Tannehill. He really steps into this line drive of a throw over the top of screen. And Landry makes a big catch for the Dolphins. A little out and up move.
Quick snap by Miami. Ajayi. No gain on the play. But combination of Wilkerson and Harrison.
Yeah, Bird, they're trying to run between the tackles here, and it's just not going to be successful against this front 4 of the Jets.
Jay Ajayi, born in London, will remain in there. Moved to the United States in the 4th grade. Initially to Maryland, eventually settling in Texas. 2nd and goal. Dolphins trying to get on the board. Shotgun for Tannehill. Tannehill to the outside. It's Landry lunging for the touchdown. He fends off walls. And Miami has its first points of the day.
Yeah, tremendous play by Landry. Watch as he makes the catch. He knows he's short of the end zone. He's going to dive for the pylon and make sure he breaks the plane with a left hand. Tremendous athletic move by Jarvis Landry. 7 catches, 92 yards. That 40-yarder got him down here, and he pays it off with this very athletic move.
Putting together another fantastic season, Jarvis Landry, one of the emotional leaders of this squad, and Miami trying to climb out of this hole. Extra point from Andrew Franks. It's 21-7. Jets, 2.5 to go. 3rd quarter from the Meadowlands. Tannehill hooks up with Jarvis Landry. And the Dolphins finally put some points on the board in New Jersey. 6 plays, 54 yards for Miami. It took 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Capped off on the 5-yard touchdown. Tannehill to Landry. Tannehill a perfect 4 of 4, 65 yards on that drive. Franks kicks it off. It'll be handled at the 10-yard line by Kellen Davis, the tight end. Just across the 20, hit by Walt Aikens. Tuesday on CBS, it's everyone's favorite red-nosed reindeer in high definition. Gather the family for a very special presentation. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central, only CBS.
With feeling.
Yes, it's festive.
Well done.
It's a slice of my youth right there, Dan. 1st and 10 of the 21. Motion man is Decker. Bohannon in front of Ivory. Give it to Ivory. Ivory tried to cut around Koamisi. Held to a 2-yard gain for Ivory. Well, I guess there was some leftover turkey somewhere.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes, you're wearing...
I told you if we wore these, we'd get on TV.
They were right. Wear interesting hats, and you have a chance to make it on television.
Interesting hats, huh?
That was nice.
More bird things, huh?
Hey, Mike 5-2, Mike 5-2.
2nd and 8. Stepping up. Deep ball, Fitzpatrick entering it out. Brandon Marshall's got it. Marshall with a spin move. And tackled at the 30. Penalty marker thrown at the 45-yard line.
It's going to be against Grimes, too, for illegal contact or holding. Marshall just powered through it, and Fitzpatrick launched that ball about as far as he could possibly throw it, right on
Prior
target.
to the pass, illegal contact. Defense number 21. Penalties declined. Result of the play, 1st down.
Well, there's Grimes. You can see a little hesitation move there by Marshall. That forced Grimes to reach out and try to grab Marshall to slow him down. That little hesitation, there's the grab. The flag will be coming shortly, but here comes the ball for 47 yards.
So Marshall now with 7 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown to lead New York. Bohannon goes in motion now, settles in the backfield. 1st down for the Jets. 1:15 to go. 3rd quarter. Fitzpatrick almost intercepted. Grimes this time matched up with Eric Decker on the other side.
Now, because Marshall was on the sidelines, Grimes comes over to take Decker and almost comes away with a fantastic interception here. Decker never really looking for the ball. And Fitzpatrick going for the kill shot.
Fitzpatrick is 19 of 34, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns. Marshall is back. 2nd and 10 for the Jets. Running play to Ivory off the stutter step. Ivory carries to the 25. 5-yard pickup brought down by Neville Hewitt, the rookie for Marshall.
Aside from that first run of the day for Ivory, where he went 16 yards, it's been a struggle for the Jets and Ivory trying to run the ball against this Dolphin defense. 10 carries for 17 yards after that first carry.
Bilal Powell is in for Ivory. This is a 3rd and 5. Shotgun, Fitzpatrick. Over the middle, Marshall. 1st down. 10 yards. Fitzpatrick to Marshall. And it looks like that'll do it for this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, in London, Marshall went 7 catches for 128. did not have a touchdown. Today he's got 8 catches for 128 and a score. Big day for Marshall.
The end of the third quarter.
End of 3 in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's 21-7. The Jets in front. Back to the Meadowlands after this message and a word from your local station. This is the NFL on CBS. Individual leaders so far in Week 12. Hasselbeck, 275 yards. There's Fitzpatrick with 250. The rushing leaders, Peterson. Big day for Peterson, 118 yards and a touchdown. And the top receivers so far, Sammy Watkins, 158 and 2 scores. Brandon Marshall, 8 catches, 128 yards and a touchdown for the Jets. We start the fourth quarter. MetLife Stadium, 21-7. Jets leading Miami. First down to the 15. Ivory. Spin move. Ivory takes a shot. Forward progress will get him to the 11. That's a 4-yard gain for Chris Ivory.
And a nice move there on Rashad Jones to make Jones miss and get a couple out of that run.
Jets were running the football so well early in the season, then dealt with some injuries. Cologne, the Mangold injury certainly affected things on that offensive line. And Ivory himself didn't appear to be 100%. 2nd and 6. Jets looking for more. It's Ivory. Stiff arm. Goes down. Bryce McCain sticks with the play.
McCain does a good job of keeping him out of the end zone, but did not prevent him from picking up the first down. Ivory with a good stiff arm right to the shoulder of McCain, and McCain fighting through it to make the tackle, but not in time to keep him from picking up the first down.
First and goal inside the 5 for the Jets, just underway in the 4th.
Boy, what an answer to Miami's touchdown, though. They get the bomb to Marshall and really picks up the spirits of this Jets offense.
Handed off to Ivory. Brought down inside the 2. Michael Thomas in on that stop for Miami. 2nd and goal.
The other thing that you don't realize about Ivory, with all the times that he touches the ball, he's only fumbled twice this year, losing 1. And in his career, he only has 10 fumbles. Of those, he's only lost 4. So ball security really solid with Chris Ivory.
6th offensive lineman for the Jets, Brent Qualley, is in. Jets have cashed in on their red zone opportunities. 9th play of the drive, 2nd and goal for New York. Handoff. Ivory has nowhere to go. Rashad Jones reading it well for Miami.
Well, we've seen Rashad Jones do this a number of times. He's just to the outside here, and he's going to jump inside and make this tackle. Gets low before Bohannon can root him out. And as they always say, low man wins in this ball game. Tremendous play to defeat the block and make the tackle by Rashad Jones.
3rd and goal for New York. Motion man is Cumberland. Up high. It's caught by Marshall. Touchdown, Jets. Fitzpatrick floats it upstairs. And Marshall does the rest. 4 touchdowns for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Well, you talked about the height disadvantage here for Miami. 6'4" Marshall against the questionable 5'10" Grimes. Marshall catching that ball about 8 feet off the ground. And all Grimes can do is try to pull on his belt.
That is a clear box out from Brandon Marshall. 9 catches, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. And the Jets looking to build the lead back up to 21 with a point after from Bullock. The Jets go 10 plays, 79 yards. They lead Miami 28-7. Frustration the last 2 weeks for this Jets offense. Not the case today at home against the Dolphins. Tenth year in the NFL, Brandon Marshall has never played in a playoff game. Trying to change all that this season with the Jets. Part of the wild card hunt in the AFC. The Jets are 5-5. Marshall has done his part today with 2 touchdowns, 9 catches, 131 yards. Bullock on the kickoff. Damian Williams will take it out 3 yards deep in the end zone for Miami. Williams tries a spin move, and he's brought down at the 16 by Trevor Riley.
Well, Marshall has 9 catches on the day, 71 on the year, and today it's been a variety of pass routes. The one constant has been all these have been going against Brent Grimes. Jets have been in the red zone 4 times today, and all 4 times they have scored touchdown passes from Fitzpatrick to Decker and to Smith.
So Fitzpatrick spreading things around today to 6 different receivers. Miami now trails 28-7 with 12 minutes to go. Another low snap. Shovel to Williams. Damian Williams shake and bake move. Take it to the 23-yard line for Miami. Let's check in with Evan Washburn.
Ryan, Dan, another layer to Brandon Marshall's day is when we spoke with Ryan Fitzpatrick this week, he said they are actually over-scheming and trying to use Brandon too much pre-snap. Today, simplified. Just find that matchup. Don't overthink it. Actually, the equation was algebra instead of trigonometry, Todd Bowles said this week. Seems to be working.
Knocked up in the air. Damian Williams thought he secured it. It came out. Billy Turner jumps on it. And the collision has put Muhammad Wilkerson on his back.
And the ball went straight up in the air, and everybody converging on it. Good sign to see Wilkerson able to jog off the field. This ball is up in the air for a long time. Great job right in the middle by Sheldon Richardson. And Williams gets hit from behind by Aaron Henderson.
3rd and 4 now for Miami. Ajayi shifts to the backfield for the Dolphins. With the gun, Tannehill throws off the hands of Kenny Stills. Incomplete. Darren Walls drawing the assignment. It's 4th down for Miami.
I mean, why don't you go for it here? What have you got to lose? You're down 21. You're going to give the ball back to the Jets? I mean, this is basically your season. You drop this game, and you've got absolutely no shot in a very crowded AFC wildcard picture.
It is the 8th punt of the day for Matt Darr. 11:21 to play in the 4th. Jets got some pressure on special teams, couldn't block it, but it's returnable for Curley. Looping out of trouble. Curley is hit as he crosses the 45-yard line. 43-yard punt, a 12-yard return. Michael Thomas to play on special teams. Fitzpatrick and Marshall. Jets are having a good old time at home.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Honda. Hurry in for great deals during Happy Honda Days. Amazon Fire TV. Change the way you TV. And by T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the Un-carrier.
Back in the Meadowlands. One guy's got a Traducan hat in there, I think.
I think there's a couple of better balls in there, too.
Excuse me? First and 10 from the 45. Motion man is Decker with 11:08 to go in the 4th. Jets all over the Dolphins, 28-7. Ivory gets blasted to the backfield. Rashad Jones, first one there, and then helped out by Jamar Taylor. Hey, NFL fans, order your holiday gifts from NFLshop.com today. Save up to 20% off at the official store of the NFL, NFLshop.com. That's creative. It's Movember. 345 yards of offense for the Jets, 187 for Miami. Take the handoff. Chris Ivory would not be denied. The physical play of the Jets continues to pay off. 31-yard touchdown run for Chris Ivory. The exclamation point here for the Jets. 9:29 remaining in the fourth. They've got a 35-7 lead on the Dolphins.
And that run really epitomized the game for the Jets. Just more physical than the Dolphins today, as they were when they played in London.
Randy Bullock will kick it off. Damian Williams, 8 yards deep in the end zone. That will carry Williams to the back of the end zone. Dolphins will have it at the 20-yard line. Thursday, NFC North matchup. The Packers and the Lions on CBS and NFL Network. And in 2 weeks, it's the Vikings and the Cardinals squaring off only on NFL Network. Green Bay has stumbled of late. Detroit has been the hotter team. Detroit won the first meeting. Chance to sweep the Packers for the first time since 1991. 400 yards of offense now for the Jets, under 200 for Miami. 9:29 to go. Jay Ajayi is in, sets up to the side of Tannehill. Protection holds up. Tannehill perimeter. Kenny Stills, acrobatic play, but he was out of bounds. Antonio Cromartie helped make sure of it.
Here's the rookie Hewitt, and now watch the contact here as Ivory is going to break about 6 or 7 tackles on this play. Just shrugging off tacklers, and then nobody on the perimeter. Tremendous run by Chris Ivory.
2nd and 10 for Miami at the 20. Moving pocket. Tannehill throws on the move. And Jarvis Landry makes the play out across the 25-yard line. Covered by Buster Screen. Ivory now with 76 yards on the ground. And that touchdown. It is enough for a first down for the Dolphins. They'll move the chains. Miami will fall to 0-5 in the division. 7 straight losses against AFC East teams. On the outside, Jordan Cameron, the intended receiver, matched up with Demario Davis. Incomplete.
Well, their inability to establish a running attack today absolutely doomed them. Remember how great they had field position to start the game, and they took no advantage of it. They have 12 yards rushing today on 9 carries.
50th season in franchise history. And Miami, we're going to anticipate a lot of changes during the offseason. Low snap, Tannehill handles it. Too high, Kenny Stills was open. Tannehill couldn't locate him. It's now 3rd and 10 for the Dolphins. One week ago, it was the Jets who had wasted opportunities. Chance to tie the game on 2 occasions late, only to fall in Houston 24-17. Speculation started on the quarterback, whether or not Todd Bowles would make a switch. He did not. And Fitzpatrick has delivered with 4 touchdowns and 277 yards today for the Jets. 3rd and 10 for the Dolphins. Rush is coming. Tannehill gets rid of it. Good Catch by Landry for the first down. Hit by Gilchrist, 11 yards. It's enough to move the chains.
Now Landry continues to show just how strong his hands are. And you think that he played with Odell Beckham at LSU.
Scary.
What are they doing down there to develop such strength in their hands? But those two have really got it, and it really paid off that time for Landry.
9 catches, 113 yards, and a touchdown for Landry. To Ajayi. Ajayi goes down hard, holds onto the football. Combination of Pryor and Walls as Ajayi got turned around and turned over on the play.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how you get the ball out and complete, just do it. Little sidearm shot that time by Tannehill to Ajayi, and a double hit there as he goes airborne.
Ajayi remains in there. It's a first down for Miami. In stride, Jarvis Landry. And brought down from behind, slammed down inside the 25, and Landry hurt on the play. David Harris.
He hit his head on the surface. He was slung down there that time by David Harris. 10 catches for 135 and a headache.
Here's the wrap-up by Harris, and then the takedown. Landry is up, and Landry jogging off the field. 7:21 to go in the fourth. 35-7 Jets. Greg Jennings will step in. Landry, that 135-yard day, is a new career high for the LSU product. First and 10 from the 23 of New York. Tannehill connects with Jennings, and he's hit right away by screen. That is just the 12th catch of the year for Greg Jennings, 2-time Pro Bowler. They're checking on Landry on the Miami sideline. 4-yard pickup for the Dolphins. Now 248 total yards. Tannehill into the crowd through the hands of Parker. Big target at 6'3", 218.
That ball should have been caught. It was a high fastball from Tannehill, but still. Parker had both hands on it. It just went right through his fingertips. Cromartie flashing in front of Parker may have distracted him, but still, got to make that catch for your team.
3rd and 6 from the 19. Stills goes in motion. Tannehill looks, fires over the middle. He's got Ajayi. First down. It'll be 1st and goal inside the 10 for the Dolphins.
I would expect Ajayi to get more playing time. He's come on. They like the way he runs aggressively, runs angry, actually. And the offensive linemen kind of dig that.
From the 8, Tannehill to the end zone. Stills can't bring it in. Incomplete. Darren Walls, the matchup.
And another drop pass here. This ball to Stills, thrown out in front, but this is a ball that has to be caught. Difficult attempt, but still right through 2 hands.
And Jarvis Landry returns, so they asked him the questions. He gave the right answers to get himself back on the field. Checking on the potential of a concussion after he was slammed down on the tackle by Harris. Another bad snap. Tannehill underneath to Landry. And he's brought down after the 4-yard pickup by Rontez Miles.
And how many times have you had to say bad snap? But he's squatting down so far, he doesn't give himself a chance to get a snap to the belt high to Tannehill.
3rd and goal inside the 5. Tannehill walks into the outside, and they wrap up Deion Sims after the catch to Mario Davis. It's 4th down for Miami.
I just don't understand that type of play call. Throwing the ball to a guy 4 yards away from the end zone, expecting him to make the catch, break a tackle, and get in the end zone. You got to throw the ball into the end zone. So once it's caught, there's no question it's going to be a touchdown.
4th and goal from the 5. A loss of 1 on that play. We'll hit the 5-minute mark of the 4th. Jennings goes in motion. Tannehill pulls the trigger. It's caught. The veteran Jennings for the touchdown. Tannehill took a shot.
They double-teamed Jarvis Landry that time. That gave Jennings room in the back of the end zone to catch his first touchdown pass of the year. But look at the double coverage right there on number 14. And right in behind it goes Jennings. And Tannehill really hanging in after seeing the receiver break open, absorbing the shot, and getting a touchdown pass out of it.
Mike Catapano with the hit on Tannehill after he released the football. Extra point. Andrew Franks. (35-14) Jets. 4:51 to play. 4th quarter.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway, the legendary sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Subway, eat fresh. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
49 attempts for Ryan Tannehill. That ties a career high. A couple of touchdowns, the pick, and Miami trailing 35-14 late in the 4th quarter. We'll try the onside kick. It's Darr that does the honors, and Miami comes away with it at the 45.
Jarvis Landry. Who else?
What doesn't this guy do? That was easy. So the fake, they had Franks and they had Darr.
The question is, did it go 10 yards though? Here's Darr with the kick. Landry, number 14. He eyes it the whole way. Cumberland's looking to block.
Ooh.
I don't think it went 10 yards. I think he touched it before it got the necessary yardage.
That could be 9 3/4. What do you got, Dan?
That's short. And Bill Vinovich will tell us this is going to be reviewed.
The ruling on the field is the ball was touched by the receivers first, then recovered by the kickers. 1st down, Miami.
I did not see the touch by the Jets there. That looked like Landry had it all the way.
Todd Bowles is looking for an explanation.
And where is this touch by the Jets? Does Brandon Marshall come in here? He did with a fingertip.
Little piece of it,
Wow.
Marshall.
Talk about some great eyes on the field by the officials to see the little fingertip touch by Marshall. And the recovery by Landry.
So Miami has the football just short of the 45. But they have a lot of ground to make up. It's 35-14 Jets.
And because Marshall touched it before it went to 10 yards, it's a free ball for Landry to make the reception.
Douglas to snap it. He stepped in for the injured Mike Pouncey. Tannehill, rush coming. Tannehill loses the football. It's recovered by New York. Sheldon Richardson knocks it away. And the Jets take over. Malden on the recovery.
Now give Richardson a sack and a forced fumble. Second time this year he's forced to fumble. And Malden comes in for the recovery. And for the rookie, that's his first fumble recovery of his career.
So after all that, the Jets have it at the 35 of Miami. The 12th straight game where Miami has given up 2 or more sacks. Longest active streak in the NFL. Ivory gets the call. He's brought down by Kelvin Shepard low. And a timeout called with 4:38 remaining. Well, last Tuesday, Dolphin players, alumni, and cheerleaders helped 125 students from local counties shop for Thanksgiving meals. The students aged 6 to 18 were selected by their principals to participate and enjoy dinner with the players before hitting the aisles to fill their pantries for the holiday.
You know, just as a contrast as far as protecting the quarterback this year, Tannehill's gone down 32 times, and Fitzpatrick's only been sacked 11 times.
Single 5-2.
2nd and 10 for the Jets. Cumberland goes in motion for New York. 4:35 to play. Handed off to Ivory. Hit by Taylor, 5-yard gain. Neville Hewitt in on the stop, and another timeout called. Stops the clock with 4:31 left. Dolphins have 1 timeout left. Coming up next, Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers take on Russell Wilson and the Seahawks right here on CBS Sports.
Big Ben getting an extra week off because of the bye week. Get that foot healthy, but he was pretty good when the foot wasn't too healthy, was he?
He was. He was the backup quarterback for Landry Jones, who went down with an injury, and then Ben came in and lit up the Cleveland Browns before the bye. 3rd and 5 now for New York. Ivory remains in there. He's got Bohannon at the fullback spot. 2 tight ends, Cumberland and Davis. Little jump on that left side of the Miami line. No harm, no foul. Ivory looping to the outside. He's got the first down. Forced out of bounds by Shamil Gary, who was just signed off the practice squad.
Surprising speed for a bruising type of runner that Ivory is. 1 cut to the outside, and now the Dolphins are crowding the line of scrimmage, expecting a run up the middle. He bounces it outside and just about seals the deal here for the Jets.
Ivory closing in on a 100-yard rushing day. 20 carries, 95 yards, and a 31-yard touchdown. New set of downs for the Jets. It's Ivory. Breaks a tackle again. Tries to break another. Ivory moving in the wrong direction, and Miami gets to him. Back at the 24-yard line, the combination of Sue and the former Jet, Quentin Coples. Loss of 8. Todd Bowles, we asked him about Coples. He said, we wish him the best. He's a very talented player. We hope this isn't a monster game for him. He knows our defense, this is Bowles talking, but he doesn't know our game plan. There's a big difference. And that's always the speculation in the NFL, Dan. Guys change teams all the time, but when one changes teams the week of the game against his former team, there's a perception that, oh, they've got a clear advantage. You buy it?
No, I don't. Because, as you said, game plans are probably more important than the game, the playbook itself, because they are specific to the team you're playing. And I'm sure that Coples wishes that he may have paid more attention in some of the meetings leading up to the ball game, but it's not an individual's game. One guy can't make that big of a difference. And remember, he's filling in for Cameron Wake at times, and the Wake loss,
huge.
7 sacks in 7 games. Yeah, absolutely a huge loss.
Bilal Powell is in. Powell carries it. Met by Derek Shelby, first man there. Shelby has been starting in that spot. Cameron Wake on IR after the Achilles injury. brings up third down for the Jets. We are under 4 minutes to play. Miami is out of timeouts. No running game for the Dolphins once again. 12 rushing yards for Miami. Tannehill has put it in the air 49 times. The Jets have found balance. 413 total yards. 139 on the ground. 274 through the air. 3rd and 16 now for the Jets. Tight formation. Keep it on the ground for Powell. Hit by Kelvin Shepard. And they'll let the clock wind down. It's now 4th down. Randy Bullock is looking at a 41-yard field goal attempt. The question is whether or not Todd Bowles is going to send him onto the field. They might just let the clock run on the game clock and then take the timeout with 1 second left.
I think that would be wise. Well within Bullock's range here, and the clock really is the enemy of the Dolphins, and there is the timeout.
New York.
And also important to get Bullock some reps. He only has 2 field goal attempts so far with the Jets after stepping in for the injured Nick Folk. Bullock was let go by the Houston Texans. As you mentioned earlier, kicked a 55-yarder last season, so he's capable. The issues with Bullock have been accuracy and consistency. 5th-round pick in 2012 out of Texas A&M. If the Jets believe that they're going to be in a playoff chase come December and January, Bullock could end up playing a large role. This is from 41 yards away. Quickly will hold it. Tanner Purdom is the snapper for New York. Bullock. It's good. Curls it through to give the Jets a 38-14 lead over Miami. Most points the Jets have scored in a game this season. 38 on the board in an important AFC East matchup. Well, how did we get here today? Defensive dominance from New York. It started early with the pick from Marcus Williams stepping in for the injured Darrelle Revis. The Marshall plan on offense, Brandon Marshall, Ryan Fitzpatrick, 4 touchdowns on the day. And the Jets putting together their best offensive showing of the season. First Jet quarterback with 4 or more touchdowns in a game since Mark Sanchez did it 4 seasons ago.
And the way the game's played today, the way it's turned into such a passing league, that is really an amazing stat. 5 years ago, since a Jet quarterback threw 4 touchdowns in a ball game. But Fitzpatrick would probably be wise to keep that beard nice and trim here on out.
So you believe the beard has played a role in it. Now, you're a beard aficionado.
Well, there's a lot of power in the beard.
There is a lot of power. I've learned that.
Just ask Sampson.
Randy Bullock kicks it off. Williams will take it out of the end zone. Slowed down as he crossed the 20-yard line and then dumped at the 23 by Darren Walls. Well, we asked Todd Bowles about Ryan Fitzpatrick, and he and Fitzpatrick sharing a moment. He said, look, we're looking for consistency. We want him to manage the game. We've told him don't try to do too much. We know he's up to the task, and we believe in him, which was probably the biggest part of that statement.
And watching the interaction there on the sidelines, the 2 guys with the most pressure on them coming into today's game, Todd Bowles and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, there's an exhale there of
sigh of relief.
No doubt about it. First down for Miami with 2:35 to play. Dump off for Ajayi. Brought down by Rontez Miles for Fitzpatrick. It's going to go down as one of his better days as a pro quarterback. Fitzpatrick now in his 11th year in the NFL. Lost to a former team last week, Houston. Lost to a former team the week before, Buffalo. Kenny Stills, the intended receiver. It's incomplete with 2:09 to play. I think that's the other part. I know from the outside, people will jump to conclusions and say, well, maybe they need a spark with Geno Smith and try something new. Anybody you talk to on the inside, Fitzpatrick is clearly the leader and the guy that other players look to for that leadership on this offense.
Well, there's a lot that goes into that. Obviously, his experience, his knowledge of the offense, and his competitiveness.
Tannehill out of the pocket. Ball is jarred loose of Ajayi. They're going to rule it incomplete. The hit from Aaron Henderson. Pryor thought he was off to the races for a potential touchdown.
Well, they didn't get that reception notarized.
No. I think this performance, though, has been notarized. The Jets 38, Miami 14.
Well, and beating a divisional opponent and basically ending a division opponent's hopes for a wild card spot. Very, very sweet for the New York Jets.
And for Dan Campbell, this incredible opportunity to take over as head coach at just 39 years old. Tannehill on 30-10. A bobble and a catch by Landry. He's got a first down out near midfield. And we've got 1:54 to play. This is the 2-minute warning. It's all Jets. Coming up next, the Steelers take on the Seahawks. We've got it for you right here on CBS Sports. First down for Miami at midfield. We've got 1:54 to go. Dolphins are out of timeouts. Jets are up big on the scoreboard. Tannehill throwing the deep ball. Kenny Stills tried to snare it with one hand. It's incomplete. Matched up with Darren Walls.
Well, if you can get one hand on it, can't you get two hands on it with a dive? We've seen a lot of guys make one-handed catches this year, but that ball should have. You got to try to get two hands on that ball.
You know, we mentioned Dan Campbell in this opportunity. He said, I love the job. I feel like I'm getting better every week. I'm finding a flow on game day. And I feel like this is what I was meant to do in life, be a head coach. 2nd and 10. Tannehill. Jarvis Landry can add the stats here with a curl upfield and a first down for Miami. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Harold Bryant. The president of CBS Sports is David Burson. Today's game produced by Mark Wolf, directed by Bob Fishman. Vice president of remote production of CBS Sports, Steve Karasek. Coordinating producer of the NFL on CBS is Lance Barrow. Tannehill recovers. He gets stamped. It's Malden. And another bad snap leads to this.
The snaps aren't even close at times. Watch, Tannehill never saw this one coming either. Malden with the hit and the plant.
So now 2nd and 20. Tannehill over the middle. Ajayi. Nice move by Ajayi. Brings it out across the 35-yard line. Vice President of Studio Production of CBS Sports is Tyler Hale. NFL Today produced by Drew Kaliski, directed by Bob Matina. The Associate Directors of today's game, Bill Thayer, Steve Murphy. Broadcast Associates, Josh Weingart and Scott Lauby. Technical Manager is Rick Godwin. Deep ball, too high. Technical Director, Terry Rosich. Audio Supervisor, Kevin Little. Stats provided by David Freed and the birthday boy, John Gwynn. Our spotter, Jim Stamus. 14 seconds left. On 4th down for Miami. Tannehill, 57 pass attempts today. That's a new career high for Ryan Tannehill. 12 rushing yards for the Dolphins. Bringing the pressure. Tannehill complete to Parker. Breaks one tackle. Parker takes it all the way for the touchdown. Excellent move by the rookie Devontae Parker, his first NFL touchdown.
Yeah, really a great effort by Parker on the outside, refusing to go down after the catch. Gets inside of Cromartie and then sees that goal line is going to cover up and dive for it and get rewarded. Good effort, too, by Tannehill, hanging in there, taking a beating, having to field bad snap after bad snap.
So on paper, for Tannehill, it won't look too bad. 3 touchdowns and 351 yards, but Miami just was never in this game in the third quarter. The Jets took complete control. Extra point. Franks misses it. Third time this season he has missed a point after. Five seconds left. The Jets get the win to improve to 6-5. Buffalo is now 5-6. Kansas City is 6-5. Oakland 5-6. Houston 6-5. Things are tight in the AFC playoff picture. Pittsburgh coming up here on CBS as the Steelers meet the Seahawks. Final 5 seconds.
Jets anticipating another onside kick. But this time, Dar is not out there to execute that trick that they pulled off successfully last time.
So they already showed their cards on the first go-around.
Kicks the ball out of bounds. Oh, my.
Andrew Franks, that is not the way that they drew it up. So the Jets will get it at the 40 and take a knee to put this one in the books.
Put the Dolphins out of their misery, because this has been a miserable day for Miami.
They had a long flight home from London after losing to the Jets. This one might feel like the same length. Going back to South Florida. It'll be the Jets and the Giants next week. Right here at MetLife, the Jets, the road team in that matchup. The Jets complete the season sweep against Miami. First time that they sweep the Dolphins since 2007. They get a much-needed victory over Miami. 38-20 is the final. For Dan Faust, Kevin Washburn, the rest of our crew, I'm Ian Eagle. So long from the Meadowlands. Coming up next, Game 2 of our doubleheader. The Steelers at the Seahawks. This is the NFL on CBS, home of Super Bowl 50.